talk about, I think overall maybe both the players, you guys ran a lot of folks out there, you had a lot of depth, and I think you kind of wore them down at the end.
Yeah, I think that's one of the best things about our team, and you know, there's a lot of guys that can, you know, contribute to our success. You know, obviously, me and just Arnie, for example, are able to play for each other and then with each other and coach has talked about that before, but you know, because we can play the same spots, but we're also a lot different players, so it's good to be out there with him and you know, also give him a breather when he needs to come out, and then yeah, our depth is a big deal. We have a lot of guys we have a lot of good players, and you know, when one guy's going, I think you look at the box right here, and you know, you see Ring didn't make a shot tonight, which doesn't happen very often. He's a super talented player, and you look, but other guys stepped up, and we stepped up defensively. I think we strive to be, we want to be a championship team this year, and I think championship teams can win these kind of games when you know, we don't shoot it particularly well. So I don't think we're there yet, but I think that these are the type of games that you need to grind out and find a way to win if you want to be a championship team.
You guys, 20 turnovers you guys forced today, and you guys were hounding the guards. Just talk about that a little bit.
I mean, yeah, that's a persona that we want to take on, and especially defensively. We really want to get after guards, wear them out, and show them that it's going to be a long night when we play. So, and I feel like tonight that was one of the biggest things that we did. We picked them up, and I feel like if you go back and watch the film, you kind of notice it. You know, when things were going right, we were moving, we were picking up the ball, we were really into them. And then, you know, when they went on that big run, I feel like that's when we kind of got on our heels a little bit, and then they got to make their plays, and we picked it right back up.
Brian, the other night, Ray and Brian get 42 between them.
Mm-hmm.
Tonight you only scored 57 or something total.
Yeah.
And other people, Des gets 15 or whatever it is tonight. Again, it's that depth thing. It's winning different ways.
It is. I mean, I think everyone you go against is going to guard a ball screen different. They're going to switch off the ball a little bit different. They might stay on the ball, and those play into strengths of different guys. You have certain guys that are pretty good cutters. So, you know, Des is a guy that moves well. He's a guy that's able to be patient, let the game come to him. So in a game like today, he was able to find different ways, and our guys, I know we only had 10 assists and 14 turnovers, and I do think it made sense because in that little stretch in the first half we weren't moving it quite as well, but I do think we have the versatility and willingness to play for one another with this team as we continue. We've had some pretty big injuries too, and you know, Kyle comes back, and I thought I'm shocked he only played 9 or 8 minutes, whatever it is. He's 1 for 7. He has 3 rebounds. Yeah, I know he had a block. Yeah, had a couple blocks. So I thought he has impacted us as he's had like 6 or 7 practices total because he was even sick after break. So I do think as we continue to find ourselves through the changes that have happened quite a bit on our team already, it's about them playing with one another. So it was a defensive effort tonight. It needed to be a defensive effort tonight with how the game kind of went. And, you know, you still look at, like, you still have some of your guys getting baskets that are going to score. Brian missed 2 or 3 wide open. Like, he was frustrated with himself. So, I mean, that could have easily been 12 points, but it wasn't. So some other guys stepped up. It was awesome.
You talked about the turnovers, but you had 7 until about the last 3 minutes. I mean, the next 5 or 6 were all in the last couple of minutes when the game was already over, basically. Okay. And it seemed like guys were just trying to get shots off, or, you know, and so really you guys handled the ball well most of the day. And talk about what you thought about the defensive part of your game today.
You know, when you have a one-day, first of all, I want to see who had those turnovers late. Was that you? Looking right, I'm gonna blame you right now. No, it's hard sometimes when you're like late in the game when you're trying to move the ball and not attack like you did to get the 12-point lead. It's that fine line as a coach, and I you know, out of a timeout, I could have been better on a couple situations for these guys too. So I'll take a few of them, not all of them though, but I'll take a few of them with some of those turnovers. But I do think that you know, when we go out there defensively, they bought into the scouting report yesterday afternoon. They bought into the personnel yesterday afternoon. They bought into not just paying attention to Western Illinois the other day, but understanding why, Lindenwood had success against Western Illinois. Well, it just so happens that we played them right away. So I think they watching and understanding the entire game, prepping for the previous game was really nice as well, which is nice to see. We have a decent amount of veterans, but we also have some new guys, and their retention and ability to kind of understand all that's been pretty cool.
My last thing is, there were a couple times in the game, well, like even starting the second half, Ray helped the referees realize whose ball it was going to be. I mean, he's like so aware of what's going on.
Right, well, he likes the ball, so he wanted the ball back, right? No, Ray can tell you what he did in the Collinsville tournament 8 years ago, and like when he drives in, hit his buddy in the corner skeet for a big time shot, and like who's guarding him. I mean, he does that. Yeah, I thought coming out of halftime, I was like, I know it's our ball. Like, we were all kind of sitting there, and then he went and explained the jump ball that took place or where it was. I couldn't remember where and when the jump ball.
Down at the free throw line. It happened right here.
Yeah, because we were forcing it. He's like, I was forcing the ball right there. I shouldn't have forced it right there. But, we have guys that care. We have guys that it matters. Like, every possession matters to these guys. Every rep matters. When you put the time and effort that these guys put in, they want to make sure that, if it's our ball, it's our ball. And we have an unbelievable score tape, but we have an unbelievable group of people. I love seeing these for me, it's been 8 years and just seeing them. And honestly, I was like, I think it's our ball, but I kind of roll with it. There's probably an advantage. Maybe we get the first loose ball. And I don't think we scored out of it, so I probably shouldn't have fought for the ball like that.
I do want to ask you about, what was I going to ask you? I lost my train of thought. The idea that all the undefeated teams lost today.
Okay,
And
yeah.
they're 1 game out, basically.
Yeah.
You said, well, we got to keep hunting and all that.
Mhm.
But it is encouraging, all of a sudden the race is on.
Yeah, it's funny because you go into Christmas and you're not feeling great. Like you're 0-2, you feel like you're just so far behind. And probably more because of how we played. Not necessarily that we were just 0-2 going into Christmas or to the little break. You could put we're only 2 games out, like when you're 0-2. I mean, and you have 20 games. But it's you can feel conference right now. You can feel it right now. So I went in there and told them, a couple teams lost right away, and now you're right there. Like it's nice to see you back in the mix, even though you have 18 games left or 16 games left, or whatever we have at this point, conference prior to afterwards. So it's just exciting. This is the best time.
Appreciate your time.
Well, thank you. All right, fellas.